So you want to publish a book, you just don't have the time. Publishing a book doesn't have to take as long as you may think, especially if you're self-publishing your book. Today, I'm going to share with you 5 tips on how to write a book faster. And no, I'm not going to tell you to hire a ghostwriter or anything like that. I already have a video on how to hire a ghostwriter. I'll include it above. And if you stick around to the end, I'll share with you not 1, but 2 bonus tips that will really help speed up your process. And don't worry, there won't be any affiliate links. Oh, and if you're wanting to publish a puzzle book or other low content or no content books, most of these tips will work for you too. So smash that like button and let's get started. Tip number 1 is to plan to write or publish a shorter book. If you want to write a book, and especially if it's your first book, why not make it shorter? No reason to write a big epic novel. Start small. Start with something that is between 1 to 100 pages long, and you can publish that as an ebook, and Amazon can list that as a Kindle short read. Now, if you're doing low content, no content books, maybe puzzle books, well, you can still do a shorter book. Think of doing a kid's puzzle book or activity book instead of a big, long 1,000 puzzle book. Again, by making it shorter, you shorten the amount of time it takes to create, and you also maximize your chances of seeing success early on in the publishing. Instead of taking months and months and months to write a book and publish it, if you write a shorter book or you publish a shorter puzzle book, you have a much better chance of going from creation to profit. Tip number 2 is to make a plan and a schedule. And what I mean by that is whatever you're creating, whether it's a written book or it's, no content, low content books, it doesn't matter. There's still a process that needs to be done, whether it's the creation of it, the writing of the first draft, whatever. So make a schedule, make a plan on how long it's going to take you to create that. How much time do you have in a day to devote to creating this product? And once you know how long you can do, how long you have set aside, well, then you can plan how long it'll take to get done. And I know so many people will say, I don't have any time. But you know what? I think if you sit back and you think about it and you really assess what your daily schedule looks like, you can probably find a window of 30 minutes here and there that really can add up when it comes to creating and publishing your first book. That leads us into tip number 3, which is to set a due date. That's right, something tangible. You've got your plan, you know about how long you're going to be able to devote to creating it every day. And so by doing that, you'll end up getting a due date, something that you can put on your calendar that says that this first draft is going to be written by this date. Publishing is going to be done by this date. Something tangible. It's a lot harder to make excuses when you start seeing that deadline come closer and closer. So if you do set a schedule and you have a due date, you have a much better chance of seeing success. Okay, so you've got your schedule, you've got your plan, you've got your due date. Now leads us to step 4, which is make that public. Share it with somebody, whether it means you're sharing it on social media to your friends and family, or you're sharing it in a group of like-minded people, depending on what groups you're in, or maybe you're just telling somebody, in person. It doesn't have to be on social media, but tell somebody, tell at least one other person. By having that said verbally, it's not only you holding yourself accountable, but now there's somebody else that knows of your due date. And therefore, there's a much better chance you're going to keep it because you have this fear of letting them down. If you don't meet your deadline, not only will you know it, but they're going to know it too. That leads us to tip number 5, which is be consistent. This is the one that's the hardest I've found for people to do, including myself. You've got your plan. It's so easy to get sidetracked, okay? But being consistent. So many times people say there's not enough time to write a book. There's not enough time to create a puzzle book or whatever. And the truth is if we do what I said earlier when it comes to making the plan, if you sit back and assess your daily schedule, what you do on a daily basis, can you find an extra 30 minutes here and there? Sometimes, if you've got, especially if you've got kids, you may not find the 30 minutes. When the kid's napping, I'm doing laundry or I'm doing dishes or I'm taking a nap myself, whatever. Then ask yourself, can I maybe wake up 30 minutes earlier? Or can I go to bed 30 minutes later? Just to give me that 30-minute window where I can actually start doing this. And while 30 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, if you do it consistently, if you be consistent, it makes things move a heck of a lot faster. And for those people who are saying 30 minutes isn't a lot, I know that those people have kids, especially little kids. The difference between a 30-minute nap and an hour-long nap makes all the difference in the world. Now, if you're enjoying this video and you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and turn on your bell notification so you get alerted every time I put out new videos just like this one. And now it's time for bonus tips. Bonus tip number 1 is to dictate your book. That's right. If you're writing a book, use your phone. There's plenty of dictating apps that you can get on your phone that can absolutely make things so much faster for you. You know, we speak faster than we type. So by dictating it, yes, you'll probably have to go back and do editing later, but that's a future use problem. Right now, it's all about getting that rough draft done. And so by dictating it, you can cut the time it takes to create that rough draft almost in half, if not more. While dictating your book may not be for everybody, if you haven't considered it, I would strongly suggest trying it out. See how it works. And let me know down in the comments if it works for you. Bonus tip number 2 is keep a spreadsheet with all the metadata for your book. So regardless of what type of book you're publishing, having a spreadsheet with all the metadata, things like the title, the subtitle, the author name, your book description, keywords, etc., by having all of that in one location in Excel or whatever platform you want, having it someplace that's easily accessible, I have found speeds up the upload process, and going from a completed document and uploading it to KDP or Barnes & Noble or Ingram Spark or Lulu.com, wherever, uploading it so much faster. So I started creating an Excel spreadsheet for all of my books' metadata, and I did that about 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm telling you, it has changed the uploading the book to publish it so much faster. It's probably knocked it down at least in half. So I strongly suggest creating some kind of document, whether it's Excel or something else, where you have all of your book's metadata. It will make things so much easier for you. Now, remember tip number 1 we talked about before about writing a Kindle short read? Well, this video right here I did is all about diving deep into the idea of Kindle short reads. So you definitely want to check that one out. Now, if you've already seen that video, or maybe you're not interested in Kindle short reads, YouTube says that this video right here is perfect for you. So I'll catch you inside one of these videos, and remember to write right.